Hi. So, about 2 weeks ago, a connection of mine here on LinkedIn posted, "What is your why?" And you'll have to excuse me for looking down. I have a little notes here and there to remind me of everything that I want to say because I have a lot of that I want to say with this post. This is the first time doing a video post, so I just want to clarify that as well. I was a little weary about doing this, mainly because of what happened Friday with the Aurora shooting and human resources. I am a human resources professional myself. And my reason why of being human resources is what I was going to cover. And I'm sure Clayton Parks, the HR plant manager, had his reasons why he was a human resources professional. And I'm sure the intern, Trevor, was also having his reasons on why he was in human resources. And my heart sincerely goes out to all the victims in Aurora. But I do want to tell my reason of why, because it's something that I think needs to be told. Many years ago, when I was much younger, I was a victim of domestic violence. And I couldn't keep a job. He was constantly harassed by my abuser. He would come to my work and make sure I was there the entire time. He would call to make sure I was there. I was beaten and abused. I missed time from work for injuries. I was trying to cover up bruises. I couldn't hold down a job for more than 2 weeks for the most part. No matter what I did, I couldn't get away. And there's all the questions that come with domestic abuse. Why didn't you leave? Why didn't you do that? And I'm not here to debate that. I'm not here to debate any of that. I didn't want to do this post until today because today is something that's very significant for me. I was 38 weeks pregnant with our child, and he chose that he did not think my child or me should have life anymore. So he chose to attempt to end our lives. In that respect, he did end the life of my daughter. He unfortunately had severed the umbilical cord, and she did not survive. I obviously did survive and have moved on and lived a different life. That was a turning point for me. And it has also started to become my reason why. When I went back to work after that incident, the first day back, my manager was there and she goes, "HR wants to talk to you." When you hear that after everything that you have already been through, you know what it is. You're getting fired. I was like, okay, let's just have this conversation. I'm going to get fired again. And here we go again. I'll have to find another job that he can harass me at more. And we'll just keep going with this cycle until I figure something out. So I got on the phone and I talked to HR. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't remember the company. I don't remember the HR person's name. But this person on the other end goes, "I heard you've had some problems. I want to help you. Here is an employee assistance hotline. I want you to call them today while you are there at work. I want you to get the help that you need. I want you to get out of the situation that you are in, and our company wants to help you." I didn't know what to say to that. Nobody had reached out to me to help me. No employer that knew what I was going through had ever said anything to me. No HR, no one. So for me, it was like, wow, who is this person? They don't know me as a person and they're trying to help me. I barely know them. I've barely worked for them, but they believed in their employee and wanted to help. So that's a really big reason on why I'm in HR. Domestic violence is something that's not addressed very often when it comes to companies. 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men have been victims of domestic violence in their lifetime. It can be psychological, it can be physical, it can be financial. 20 people per minute are physically abused here in the United States. That equates to 10 million people a year. The worst part is you may think that this is something that just happens at home, but it doesn't. It happens in the workplace too. These abusers come to the workplace and they stalk their victims. They sit there and they abuse their victims psychologically at the workplace. They call them at the workplace. This is a company problem. 65% of companies surveyed do not have a formal workplace domestic violence policy in place. Now, some states and cities have safe days to assist victims and things of this nature, but it's not enough. When you add up the cost of lost productivity, medical care, mental health services, domestic violence costs employers $8 billion a year. $8 billion a year. Domestic violence is costing companies $8 billion a year, yet 65% of the companies don't address it. This is unacceptable. As an HR professional, we need to start addressing this. This is happening in our workplaces. We can't ignore it anymore. As you can tell, this is something I'm very emotional about, something that I'm very passionate about. I have allies I work with on various platforms. I work with a whistleblower and anti-bullying resource network, WARN. Attorney Shenandoah Titus, he is a colleague of mine. He helps with anyone who is experiencing bullying in the workplace. I have also established a foundation in honor of my daughter. It's called the Show Hope Foundation, Survivors Helping Others Hope. What it is it's a foundation for survivors of domestic violence, men and women, helping other survivors hope. We currently are in the fundraising stage for that. I was hoping that my website would be up and running today, but we have had nothing but technical difficulties today. So it is not. So you can actually send me an email if you like to my company address, which is info@sbkhr.com, which is my actual HR consulting business. If you are a company and you want to work on your domestic violence policy, please contact me. I will be more than happy to sit down and talk with you because you need to address this. It is something that we can't keep sweeping under the rug. I have been in this business for years, and I will tell you, every place I have worked at for the past 15 years, I have had an incident of domestic violence come up in the workplace. I have had the perpetrators come into the offices. I have had it where I have had to go find new places for them to live, where I've had to relocate them. I've had people threatened with box cutters. I've seen everything imaginable. And trust me, I've seen the worst and I've seen the best. And you just don't want to see it anymore. So it's time to put a stop to it. It's costing companies $8 billion a year. So let's start reinvesting that $8 billion a year into taking away that violence and making it cost less. So please share this message with your companies. Tell them that you want a domestic violence policy. And please remember, keep safe. God bless.